Guys, welcome to another live episode of Earthworks Hub, the only hub your missus will want you to watch. I'm your host, Ivan Orlovic. Today is Sunday, the 4th of August, 2024. Time is flying. Christmas will be here before we know it. So thank you very much for joining me on these live sessions every Sunday. These episodes, in case you don't know, they all do get recorded, and I do put them all up. So at the end of the evening or tomorrow, I'll put these up on the YouTube channel. So you've got YouTube, you've got like YouTube actual video, and then you've actually got YouTube podcast, which is just audio. Then I also put it up on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and then I'll do little snippets on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and that. So make sure if you want to go back and listen to any of these episodes, they will be uploaded during the week. And good news, hence why I'm recording back on Instagram again, is the success from last week's interview. It was phenomenal. A lot of people loved that. So I've decided to do that again this week. So I have a mystery guest coming up today. So yeah, today we're going to have a mystery guest on the show. I'm not going to let you know who it is yet, so that way you need to hang around. But I'm going to do my usual stuff, and then we're going to jump into just a little interview like we did last week with Shane from TerraPro. So hopefully you guys didn't miss that episode. If you did, go back and have a look at my videos. And then the sound quality wasn't the best last week because I found out my audio interface didn't like doing a live session. It didn't like the feedback of the person talking back to me. So I've changed microphones today. Let's see how that works. So it should be a lot better when it comes out this week. Before we continue, a quick shout out to all my sponsors. So Network Finance, Bole Group, Melbourne Tractors, Spartan Machinery, Nexgen Landscapes, and Earthworks. JR Safety Co, Diggerlid, Digga, Godings, and part of Digga, if you didn't know, is Kanga. Kanga loaders are a part of Digga. So to Kanga loaders as well, I suppose they're a part of it. Now I do have another sponsor or / partner. We're going to make an announcement later this week, so I can't say anything yet, but we're finalising a few things, and I am going to use these partners to try and help our community. So I'm going to help get these guys to help us out a bit by giving us discounts and doing all stuff like that. As you can see, Diggerlid's already given me some coupon codes, so you can get some discount on certain items. And it's going to be the same with all these other partners. We're going to have giveaways, all sorts of stuff. So that is the reason I'm getting all these partners on board, trying to help all of us out. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about is the website. So you probably saw a post I sent out a bit earlier. I've made some massive changes to the Earthworks Hub website. For anyone that hasn't been on there, make sure you go to the website. I had some really good feedback from people recently, and they were saying like, "What's the website about? What are you actually doing on there? What are you providing?" And I thought to myself, yeah, they're right. When you turn the website on, or when you go log into it, it didn't really explain what I'm doing in there. And I thought it would be just like a central hub where people go in there and just list their businesses. But it's a lot more than that. I've made it much bigger than that. So now, if you go to the website, so make sure after this episode, you go to the website and have a look. One, I made it so that people clearly see that it's to do with Earthworks Hub. I've put in the background all these photos and that of things that we've done. So interviews, podcasts, product reviews. You'll see like an ongoing little video changing in the background. But I've also called it the source for the Australian earthworks industry. So that's what it basically is. It's going to be the leading source for all of us in the industry to go to and refer to whenever we need something. So as a result of that, and trying to make it so it's easier for all of us, and I know from my own experiences, we can't get information that easy. We've got to go to a million different places to get stuff. Or we're ringing mates around saying, oh, where's a tip site? Where's this? Where's that? Can you get me someone? This Earthworks Hub is meant to be the center for all that information. So what I did, I put in a news section. So now Earthworks Hub has a news and blogs section. So you can go in there and you'll see articles. I'm posting up all the latest news that I'm finding, putting it up there for you guys to see. This week already, I've got 3 articles on there, and they're all very, very important ones. One is on mental health. So I'm going to try and put a mental health one in every week as well. It's about someone that shares their story about financial stress, which in these times is probably very relevant. The other one is about the construction industry and where it's going. and that's a really good read. So go to the website, click on news, and you'll see that article there. That is really good and explains what's happening with the construction industry, what the future is, why it's being affected. So that's another really good article, and there's a couple of other ones in there. So make sure you go to the news section. On top of that, I've created now a jobs section, so people can advertise if they're I've got a position vacant. So if you're looking for operators, truck drivers, you're looking for civil engineers for your company or quota, anything, estimators, concreters, if you're looking for a worker, you can advertise now on Earthworks Hub. And if you're looking for work, you can click on available to work and put in a little post about yourself saying I'm available to work. So similar to what we see on our Facebook groups and stuff, this is more to be just on the Earthworks Hub website, so it's all there. So you can now list a job on there, and it's free as well. And you can also list an event. So I'm going to have all these events that are earthworks or industry related. People can list on there for free. So if you've got an expo or a demo day, or you're doing something and you want everyone to know about this event, you can list it for free now on Earthworks Hub under the events section. And then the last bit, which is really important, is tip sites. So I know myself, whenever I'm doing a job, that's the biggest pain in the butt, is trying to find where to take all the material. So I'm doing it, I've set up a little tip site section, so you can click on tip site and you can add a free tip site. So if you know of a tip site somewhere, you can list it on there for free, and then everyone will know where it is. And that way, whenever anyone needs a tip site, you can just click on there and search up where it is, and you can write down what materials they accept, all their opening times and all that sort of stuff. So make sure if you've got a tip site or you know where there is one, put it up there as well. List it so we can all work out where to go. If you know how much it is per meter and this and that, just per cube, write it in there as well. So go to the website after this. I won't waffle on too much about it. earthworkshub.com.au, and you'll have links to all my socials, links to all these other industry related places as well. So it'll be a good source for us. Let me know too your feedback. I want to see who's been on there. Let me know what you guys think. All right, so the posts this week. So I posted about the website improvements. I posted a video of my chat with Shane from TerraPro. So that had a lot of, a lot of good points, and a lot of people actually responded to that and loved it. So that's why we're doing it again tonight. I posted up a coupon code from Diggerlid. So like I said, I'm trying to help out members. So if you go to the earthworkshub.com.au, go in and register. And just register yourself. That means you become a member of Earthworks Hub, similar to our Facebook group. So go there, and then you'll start getting all this information about all the coupon codes we have, all the specials we have for members. You'll be able to get discounts and stuff, and you'll get the latest news as well. I also posted a slideshow video of what kids used to be like in the 90s. So heaps of people reacted to that. It made me start to think a bit. Like, in the 90s, we were always out till the street lights were on. We used to be on our bikes doing crazy stuff and that. And I wonder now, like I look at kids and I say they're always on the phones and always at home on the computer and hardly ever going out. And I often push my kids and I say to them, go outside, man, go outside and play. Or what are your mates doing? Go out with your mates. But recently, in Victoria especially, in the suburbs near me, there's been heaps of news about stabbings and gang bashes and all these things going on at the local shopping centres. And it actually starts to make me think why I'm bothering to push my kids to go out if that's the sort of world that they're going to go out to. So now I'm not going to say it anymore. I'm not going to tell my kids get off your phones and go out anymore, because I don't know what's worse. Is it better off having them at home knowing they're safe in their bedroom playing their games, or are they better off going out there and, I don't know, facing the real world? But with stabbings and that going on, I don't know if it's any better sending them outside. So just some food for thought for people. All right, so that is everything as usual I go through. Project Spalding, that's still ongoing. I've just been spending heaps of time there, doing all the plaster work now. We're going to start painting. Stairs were installed. I said that last week. The handrails are going on. There's just all bits and pieces there. The sparkies are there. I'm doing insulation for the outside under the mezzanine office area. So heaps of stuff going on. Fencing's been finished. So that's all been happening. You're probably going to see some more posts about that this week. But enough of me talking about myself. I'm going to introduce my guest. Let me just have a quick sip before I start. Sunday night. All right, grab my notes. And today I'm going to have a guest on, and it's going to be Andrew Farrugia from Sydney Rockwall Constructions. So he's a regular attendee on my live sessions, always puts in a bit of feedback and comments and stuff. So I thought, let's get him on. I've seen a couple of his posts, very interesting. So without further ado, let me invite him in. All right, guys. So I've got Andrew Farrugia on here. He is from Sydney Rockwall Constructions. So I really appreciate you coming on today, Andrew.
No worries. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
No worries, man. No worries. Give us a bit of an intro. So tell us what your company does.
So, yeah, we're called Sydney Rockwall. Obviously, I was based in Sydney. I now base myself in Southeast Queensland. Only got into the Rockwall game maybe 5, 6 years ago. So, yeah, concreter by trade. So always been in the construction industry as from a young age. And yeah, got into machines around 2014. I kicked off on my own.
Yep.
So yeah, just jumped in the deep end and went with it.
Uh-huh. You got CC Earthworks. He's saying King of Rockwalls. There you go. People are making comments.
Yeah, that's it.
Ah, that's good, man. That's good. So, what were you doing? So, you're saying you only started the Rockwalls recently. So, what were you doing before the Rockwalls? What sort of work were you up to doing back then?
Just general earthworks, peering for concreters, site cuts, worked for a few plant hire agencies. Just yeah, whatever come in really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. And then, what made you get into the Rockwalls?
It was a referral from a family friend, and so yeah, I sort of just took it and went with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, always keen to learn new things. You know what I mean? You can never stop learning.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I suppose the question is, a lot of times I've thought about this. Like I used to do a whole range of stuff, and I still do. Like I don't do just one type of work. I do, like you said, anything from like civil works to landscaping to residential works, everything.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like an advantage to just specializing in one thing? Because sometimes I think maybe I should have specialized in one thing. Like, what do you think about that?
Uh, yes and no. It's probably got its advantages and disadvantages because at the same time, when you specialize in that one thing, if there's a when you have down like quiet time or downtime, yeah, it's hard to go and do something else, or you know what I mean. Like you never, I'm never consistently going with the walls. There's always going to be someone cheaper, or a product that's a bit cheaper, or you know what I mean. There's always something.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I suppose.
it's hard to have that one niche. Sort of got to keep your books a bit open.
Yeah, I suppose it's like what Shane was saying. You can get stuck on one job for like nearly a year or 6 months, and then it's hard to get back out because you've lost those customers in between. Yeah.
100%, 100%. Yeah, been there, done that. You get stuck in a job for even 6 weeks. You lose them handful 2-day job sort of people, and yeah, that sometimes they're your little fill-ins.
Yeah. And yeah, I was going to actually ask you because you just said that you're in Brisbane now or Southeast Queensland,
Yeah, yeah.
but your name is still Sydney Rockwall. So, what was it go? So, what made you move up there?
It's something different for the family. It was always been on the cards for a long time. Never really pulled the pin. Always got nervous or something wasn't quite right. And yeah, we've been up here, I think, 3 years in September this year. And yeah, just pulled the pin and went for it. Just packed up and moved everything up.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe better weather, but it's probably is it better weather or not? I mean, from Melbourne, it's a big difference, but from where you were in Sydney, is it
Uh,
is it that much of a difference in weather? Or
yeah, it's not too bad. Um, the summertime, the tropical storms are hard to get used to. You have a dry day, then all of a sudden it rains overnight, and the next day it's muddy and tacky, and yeah, it's
yeah,
a bit unpredictable for that.
yeah. Actually, you know what? It's good you say that because I often say, "Oh, I'm going to go pack everything up and go move up to Queensland," And then I often forget you do have those tropical days where it's raining, and even lately there's been heaps of rain up that way.
Yeah. We had a bad stint earlier this year.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it is what it is. You can't control that, unfortunately.
yeah. And what about in the extreme heat? How do you handle that? Does it get really hot?
Not too bad, mate. The Takuchi cabs have got a very ice cold aircon.
That's it, man. That's it. All right. So we touched on a little bit that you've been in the game for a while. But how did you actually start out? Like, what was the first things you did? Were you always in machines, or are you saying you've done a bit of everything before that?
Well, I've run my business for 10 years this year. So, and before that, a concreter by trade. So I was always in the game. I worked in the family concreting business, so there was always machines in the background. Um, and yeah, it was something I wanted to pursue a bit more. And yeah, I had an opportunity to do it, and I just jumped at it.
Yeah. And then what about, so for someone that's starting out, what advice would you give? Like I ask, most guests this question, but like if you had to give someone starting a business, what would you tell them?
Um, I don't know. It's easier said than done, I suppose, to just jump in and do it. But
Yeah,
if you've got the opportunity to go work, I don't know, in a big civil mob or a landscaper or someone, well, go and do it. See what it's like actually to sit in the seat without having no overhead. You know what I mean? You've got to really enjoy it before you go and commit to that, because we're not just talking about church change. It's a big commitment.
yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah, I suppose that is good advice because, before you go and spend all this big money on buying equipment, go and
Yeah,
try working for someone.
yeah,
See how it is first.
yeah. That's right. That's right. It's not all. We all know as owner operators, it's not all green grass and all that sort of stuff on this side of the fence.
Very true. Very true. Now, what machines do you have? So I noticed you do. I was looking at some of your posts. So I noticed you've got a few Takuchis. Is that the machine? What machines do you have in total?
Oh yeah, yeah. So just the two. So the two Takuchi, the 120, the small posi track, and the 15-ton Takuchi excavator.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And are they what you've always had, or have you had other ones too?
Now, so I've had a range of machines. So I started off with a Kobelco 5-tonner. Then acquired a Kobelco 8-tonner. So I used to run both machines. Um, then we had that for a fair few years. Then when I jumped into the Rockwalls, I had a Hyundai 14. Had that for a few years, and then got rid of that and grabbed the Takuchi, the 15 that I've got now.
Yeah. And what would you say out of all the machines that you've had or that you've got now, like which one do you like the most, you reckon?
Oh, I probably love the Takuchi the most, only because
Yeah.
it's probably got the end con on the end of it,
Yeah.
and the swivel boom like the 5-tonners. Like some of the places I put that 15, I scratch my head and I think, how did I just even do that?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty versatile.
Yeah. How do you find the Encon? Is that like the best thing you've ever done or
Yeah,
what?
yeah. I've actually got it away at the moment, just getting some repairs done, and I'm actually struggling. Like I'm sort of forgetting how to operate. You've actually got to use the blade to get yourself level and stuff that I didn't think about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. You're going back to the old days.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true. Even at just a basic tilt hitch now, I get so if I don't have one with a tilt hitch anymore, I
yeah,
can't I can't work it out anymore,
100%. You get used to, I suppose, what you have, and yeah, when that gets taken away, you feel you feel like you're going backwards.
Yeah. Very, very true. Very true. Um, so that I saw that you were doing a demo with your machine at Diesel Dirt and Turf once. That was an old post, but have you done any since then? So that was when was that? In 2021 or something?
Yeah, I think it was 20, must have been 22 because I received the
Oh,
machine in 21. Yeah. No, that's the first and only thing I've ever done with that machine. That was for Semco because they didn't have a 14 in Australia at that time. But yeah, it was a very good experience. It was good exposure for myself. and yeah, I enjoyed it. I would do if something come up again. I would definitely do it again.
Yeah. What did you have to do like on the demo day? What did they make you do while you're there?
Well, nothing too much really. It was sort of left up to me. They said, if you want to get some sandstone blocks in, you can just show what the machine can do, and just go from there. Yeah, I think it's all taken off a bit after that year that they had some demos and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think it's a good thing because it shows um, buyers that what it can do. You know what I mean? Like you're not looking at something that's like it's not moving. You get a bit of an idea of how it works or what it can do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because I know if I was going to go spend some money on a new machine or like the Encon or something, I'd want to go see it and see how it works and what it does. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So it's good that they do that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then it's all in one place, so you don't have to go to one store to the other store. It's all in one expo.
100%. It's probably one of the best expos that's out there at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah, that would be one of my goals is to get the Encon on my or something similar,
Yeah, yeah.
like a rotator thing. That'd be awesome, I reckon. Especially for you, though, it'd be very handy with the rock walls, moving the rocks around and placing them. Yeah.
Well, 100%. That's one thing that sort of got me over the edge is what I was trying to build a lot of head walls in like swale drains and that on subdivisions and like in the bio basins and all that sort of stuff. And sometimes, yeah, obviously during construction, the basins are either full of water or there's always water in them areas. So for me to sit on the high side, build the wall, and not have to move too much from one spot was pretty much a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the advantage of having it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's right.
You don't have to keep repositioning yourself and that. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And then going back to the business, I suppose. Like, how do you find work? What do you do to get work nowadays?
Um, I know in earlier years of the business, it was a lot of cold calling. Took a lot of courage and a lot of guts to pick up the phone and actually ring people. Um, but now it's sort of just a flow-on effect. It's all word of mouth. There's very hardly any advertising. Um,
Except on,
and
except on Earthworks Hub, yeah.
it's up.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, just a lot of cold calling, eh? Like, you get used to the no's or the, oh yeah, I'll ring you back. Um, and yeah, you just got to be persistent, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. And I suppose after a while, people get to know you, yeah, and then they just call you back as well.
100%, 100%. You
Yeah.
just you find the right people, and it goes from there.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one good thing about this industry is that well, 99%, we try and all work together. Like that's what we're
Yeah.
all for. It's no point fighting each other.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. What about employees? Do you have any employees, or have you ever had any? Like, what's your situation with that?
No, I haven't. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know how to handle employees, to be honest. Um, yeah, never really worked much for other people as an employee myself. So I've always been a one man show. So yeah,
Yeah.
if I can't do it, I pass it on, or otherwise I just give it a crack.
Yeah. So yeah, you prefer not to have employees then?
Yeah, just I don't know. The stress of trying to have work 5 days a week for someone really really gets to me because if you don't have work, are they going to get up and leave next week? Because obviously that they need stable income and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of stress that I don't think I'm ready for.
Yeah, yeah, and it's good. It's good that you acknowledge that. A lot of people just think, "Oh, straight away I've got to get a worker," and then they just get workers, and they don't think about the things you just said. So,
Yeah,
and the other thing is, I find that yeah, you're right. If there's not enough work for both of you for 5 days, then most of the time you'll sacrifice yourself and let them work,
yeah,
and then
100%.
you've got no income.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So
Yeah,
it's probably a tough topic, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes I do come unstuck. You know, you need the extra pair of hands, and I've got no one.
The current work environment, like what's it like? In Melbourne, it's very quiet, and I'm hearing it's similar in other places. What's it like work-wise for you guys, and how you're handling that?
Yeah, the residential side up here is pretty quiet. Oh, well, I find anyway. Um, I know the private sector's a bit quiet too, as there is a lot of people holding on to their pennies. And obviously the landscaping side I'm sort of in, yeah, it's not really on people's agendas at the moment. Like, you know, when they build a new house, it's get in and then, oh no, we've got no money for grass or retaining walls or stuff like that. So it's on the back burner. So yeah,
Yeah,
for me, for that, it's, yeah, you know, if you're not 5 grand cheaper than someone else, they don't really want to know you.
yeah, yeah. Like you say, I think it's similar here. People are holding on to their pennies a bit until we work out what's going on with all these interest rates
Yeah,
and stuff.
100%.
So yeah, for the moment, it's a bit quiet. But there's an article, like I said before, that I've just put up on the website, which explains a lot about why that's happening and what the future is. So hopefully
Yeah,
people can log in and see that.
definitely gonna have a read of that.
That's it. Um, and what about, so a question that I often want to ask people, but I forget to ask is like, obviously we're flat out, yeah, especially as an owner operator. You're not just doing 8 hours a day. What do you do to wind down? Like, I forget to ask people, what do you do to like wind down a bit apart from work?
Um, Jeez.
And
Um,
any like hobbies and stuff? Like, what can other people do as well?
no, I don't know. I think I've made my work my hobby. So like, even to wind down, I'm happy to wash the machine or do some maintenance. Like it doesn't phase me.
It's like it's just become part of your life, yeah. Like you're not really that phased. It's just another day.
That's it, 100%. You know what I mean? And it's you know in the back of your head that if you don't do it today, it's just going to add to the stress tomorrow. Then you leave it tomorrow. Come Friday, you're like, oh, I didn't do all them little jobs that I needed to do, and yeah, now your weekend's full of doing them little jobs because you didn't do it.
Yeah, yeah. I think, and I've had a few guests mention that, like that. Then you spend, you do spend some of your weekend doing like catch ups and servicing if you do it yourself and things like that. So, but it's true. I heard someone say this, or I can't remember who it was, but there was a guy that said that a lot of people think, oh, having your own business is like, oh, I'm going to have my own, set my own hours and not have to work as much and this, but they don't realize that actually having a business becomes part of your life. Your business is your life, you know.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. You know, you're on call. You know, as soon as your eyes are awake, and then you know you're off call when your eyes are asleep. Like you know when your eyes are closed.
Yeah. True, true. And now with mobiles and that, now there's no more like getting home and not answering the phone. Like you just got people have got access to you all the time. They can email you, call you non-stop, even if after hours. Yeah,
100%. And then being a business owner, sometimes you don't say no to that because you're not sure where the next dollar might come from. So, if you have had a quiet moment, you take them calls.
yeah, true.
It's a catch-22. You know what I mean? You can't just switch off the phone.
Yeah. And I suppose, yeah, being a small business, what about your paperwork and that? How do you handle all your paperwork? Do you do it yourself or do you give it to someone else to do?
Oh, look, I try and like to learn a lot of it myself, just to see where I'm at. What I can change and what not. Um, I do have a good accountant that I've just changed over to, so they look after the stuff that I don't understand. But yeah, apart from like general invoicing, BASs and stuff, and um,
Okay.
your
Quite,
account software and all that, I do it all myself.
yeah, 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 pretty standard then. Yeah, and quotes and that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, just do it all myself. It's easier. You know what it's like. It's all in your head. You know what the job looks like. And all that other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. What about maintenance and that? Like, what do you do maintenance wise? Do you give it to someone else or do you do it all yourself?
No, I do it all myself too. Um, just for bit of the cost cutting. You know what I mean? Just try and look after it yourself. If there's anything major, yeah, I get a third party in. But yeah, apart from that, just all the general maintenance is all done by myself.
Oh, cool, cool. I noticed also in your post you've got like a tractor with a grader blade on it.
Yep.
Do you still have that? And what do you use it for?
Yeah, that gets used for my site cuts for the builders and that. So yeah, all my house pads, shed pads, tennis courts, yeah, sports fields, anything that needs a grade on it. Yeah, that comes in handy.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that? So what is it? What type of machine is it? And what setup do you have?
So it's a John Deere tractor, 4066M, with a Saliba ag set up on it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's yeah, like I said, it's all set up with laser gear. So it runs off a laser, can be used on a dual grade setup. So pretty much similar to on grades tow behind setup he's
Oh,
got.
oh yeah. Yeah.
I think that one's off UTS or GPS, whatever it is.
Yep.
But yeah, similar sort of setup like that.
Mm. Oh, very good, man. Yeah, it looks interesting. I've seen it on some of your posts. I think
Yeah,
we haven't with the kids on there recently or something. What did I? Was that your
yeah,
post I saw?
that was a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I think it was on a Saturday. They begged me to come to work, so I'm like, "Yep, righto, you can jump on the tractor and whiz around that while I do a few other things."
Yeah.
So yeah, they have a ball on it. They love driving it.
Now, what do you reckon? Are they going to be the future excavators and that, or are they not really into it?
No, they're into it. I would hope so. Um, but yeah, we'll see how we go. They've got a few years yet.
Yeah. Yeah, they're still little. Yeah.
Yeah. So the tractor's not GPS or UTS.
Oh,
It just
okay.
runs solely off a laser. Yeah, I've never actually had a unit with GPS at all, so I'm not very GPS um,
Oh, okay.
savvy or anything like that. I don't know if I'm falling behind at times. Don't know if I should jump on board, but yeah, it's just another expense, I suppose.
Yeah. It is true. And what about your work? Like I noticed a lot of your posts, it looks like you're out in, are you in like a regional area? Or is it mainly like larger acreages and stuff?
Yes, I'm in western side of Ipswich, uh, and yeah, most of my work is acreage, house cuts, and that sort of stuff. So yeah, anything from 200 square meters up to 3,000. So yeah,
Hmm.
pretty decent work.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so what do you do if you need like more machines or like other equipment? Like what do you do for that?
Uh, I try and do a lot of it with the excavator. I do put it through its paces. Um, yeah, and if I can get away without hiring anything, I just use that. Um, or if I know that the job's too big for me, I pass it on to someone else.
What's installed for your business? What's happening in any plans?
No, not really. I don't. I feel like I would love to set the GPS up on the excavator, but yeah, I just don't know if my current workload is suited for it. So there obviously would have to be a direction change for that. But yeah, I'm pretty content just plodding along on the private jobs, the residential sector, and just staying with that. You know what I mean? I want to really stay away from the commercial. It's not my scene.
Hmm.
But yeah, just keep going as I am, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Not everyone has to have these massive dreams and getting really big and building their businesses. As I've said in the past, like a lot of people think that's what they want, and then they go through that stage, and then they come back down to themselves again. So
100%,
yeah,
100%. Yeah, I know a handful of people too that have had multiple machines, multiple workers, and all that sort of stuff, and then they scale right back because they're just like it's not worth the headache.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I can agree with that. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And what about advice? Like, what advice can you give to like new operators? So just because I get a lot of young guys and girls asking like, how can they get into it? What advice would you give someone that's starting new, like fresh, totally?
Like I said, um, it's all it's all hands-on experience. Like you've got to go jump in a seat. If find a seat, see if you like it. You know what I mean? You've got to be passionate for it. It's like anything, and I'm pretty sure Shane touched on that last week too. Like you've got to have a passion for it. It's not. I don't. If you want to go on your own, you really have to be passionate about what you do.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, a lot of people I hear they say, "Oh, apparently you get paid heaps as an operator, this and that. I want to be an operator, I get paid heaps."
Yeah,
And I'm like, it's not just about the money, man. I mean, one, it's probably not about the money, but two, like, yeah, you got to actually enjoy it because you're sitting in there all day. Like,
that's
I think people get the wrong idea.
100%, 100%. It seems cruisy on the outside for someone looking in. You aircon cab all day and all that sort of stuff, but the mental toll it does on a 10-hour day or a 12-hour day, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, yeah. I have to admit, sometimes I come home and I say to my wife, like, my body's still all right. Like, I'm not physically tired, but I'm just mentally drained.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. You don't realize.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have any pet hates that you can tell us that you hate about your job, like things that you hate people doing when you're in the machine and that?
Um, Probably the biggest one is walking up or walking around and not getting noticed, like, or not saying, "Hey, I'm here," or anything like that, or getting surprised by someone. I
Yeah,
find that bad in the posi track. People pop out of nowhere, and you think, "Man, I could have spun around and wiped you out." Like, yeah, that's probably a big pet hate.
yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, my one's also like when I'm supposed to have someone on the dumpy or spotting me or doing something, and they're on their phone or they're looking at something else, and I'm like, "You're supposed to be looking at what I'm doing, man. Help me out here."
But probably the other
Yeah,
thing too is thinking different to what the spotter is thinking. Like, you're trying to grade a certain direction, and they're checking the opposite side, and you're like, "Well, that's not what I need because I'm going to go digging 50 mil lower now on this side." And yeah, just trying to explain what you think in your head sometimes is very hard.
that is so true. Because just recently I had someone out on the ground. It was a builder I was working for, and obviously I know what I'm doing, so I'm trying to cut. And then he's standing where I need to cut next, and he's telling me to dig over there, and I'm like, no, I've got to dig where you are. I'm trying to tell him to move,
Yeah,
and then he's like, no, I want you to dig over there. And I'm like, oh, if I start there, I'm going to end up deeper by the time I come there. And I'm trying to yell at him through the cabin, and he's just like telling me, no, you got to dig there. And I'm like, that doesn't work like that.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, so I agree, man. Yeah, especially if they don't know and they're trying to tell you, and you get upset.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Like, there's always more than one way to do something, but us being in the seat, you sort of how you're going to tackle it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. And from years of experience, you know
Yeah,
how to work your way back out of something.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, I always forget to ask everyone that one. That's a good question.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah. And what about anything that you want to add? Like, is there anything that I've missed where you think we should talk about something?
No, you do pretty good every Sunday. Actually, I enjoy the topic.
Yeah.
The input from everyone is pretty good. Um, yeah, there's not much else really. It's a pretty simple game if you think about it. Like, yeah.
Someone's just riding. As soon as they get in their truck, they're wrecked because they've been concentrating all day.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so
100%,
true.
100%.
Yeah, so true, man. So true. Someone was saying that they're in the 1.8 tonner, but they're digging around nature strips all day and around assets and water and power and gas. Yeah, that's true. That takes a lot out of you because you're fully concentrating.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. And I suppose the other pet hate is when I'm working with a labourer or someone and then I'm trying to dig and they're making me dig in the corner, like when I'm digging for slabs, and they're making me get that last bit out. And I'm thinking, if you just jump in there and shovel it, you'll get it out quicker than me stuffing around.
100%. That was like the other day. I did a stand up for a concreter, and he's like, "Oh, down 5 mil," and I'm like, "Mate, just grab the rake and just fluff it up. Like,
Yeah,
it's not worth me coming back in there."
yeah. I hear.
So towards the end, I just jumped out myself, grabbed the rake, ran around all the pipes, and yeah, it was just done. Like it wasn't worth the opening my mouth. Just get out, do it yourself, and then you're all sweet.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I'm the same. Yeah, sometimes I just jump out and they're like, "What are you doing?" I go, "I just can't. Let me just quickly shovel it out or rake it, and it'll be done, man." By the time I stuff around.
100%.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
worth even like around live services and that. Like, oh, just one more scoop. I'm like, mate, just give me the shovel or jump in myself. Like, if you're not willing to do it, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. But yeah, what's your cabin like? Are you one of those people that your cabin is immaculate, or do you like get in and out and not worry about it?
Oh, look, probably for the first 12 months, it was like sealed shut, and I used to get annoyed. I have to jump out and grab something. But yeah, as time's gone on, I've gotten a little bit lazy in that department. Um, it does annoy me a little bit. I need to do clean it, but it is what it is. We're in that game. Like sometimes you just can't help it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm the same. My cabin. Like someone made a comment once, like, oh, on the video I posted, like, oh, clean your cabin. And I was thinking, I'm in a 5-ton machine. I've got my window open half the time because I've got to listen to what the plumbers are telling me or whatever. And then sometimes I jump out to give them a hand, and then jump back in. I got mud. What can I do, man?
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I don't know. Probably as a business owner and an operator, it's probably one of the last things on our mind. Like honestly, know what I mean? Like yeah, sweep the dust out off the floor and the rocks and the bigger stuff. But apart from that, things are gonna get dusty. Like we can't help it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm saying, I don't have like food wrappers and bottles everywhere, and I hate that stuff. But it
Yeah,
just, like you say, sweeping it a bit, that's enough, for now. And blow, I get the blower and blow it out,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's it, man. That's it. Uh, yeah, I think basically that's all the questions I have. I really appreciate you coming on. Like I said, short notice to everyone as well. I just hit you up yesterday.
No, I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate you doing what you're doing with Earthworks Hub and trying to give it a crack. I do. Pretty sure it's been tried a couple of times before. But yeah, appreciate you giving it a crack and trying to get us all together and make it happen.
And that's it. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. It's good. It's good to know I've got a lot of support, and that I'm trying to offer support back to everyone. So I'm trying to do the same back. So hopefully it works, man. It's getting there. Like I'm getting a lot more partners and sponsors coming on. People are listing. Like I said, I'm doing that on the website, putting up now tip sites, jobs, so that everything is all in one center.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And like I say, we've just got to work together, not fight each other. Like, you hear blokes saying, "Oh, you're too dear" or "You're too cheap." Well, there's not really an industry standard for us. Like, not that I'm aware of, anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No. And it's secretive. Like Shane said the other day, everyone's going to be secretive because they're scared someone's going to pinch their work. So I don't tell them too much, or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
100%.
yeah. No, it's true. We should help each other. Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
No,
Sorry,
thanks
say
for
again.
having us.
No problem, man. No worries. Anytime. To anyone else that is interested in being a guest, hit me up, send me a message or something, or email me or whatever you can do to get in touch. Thank you very much for coming on again, Andrew. I hope your business goes really well and hope you enjoy the weather up there. It's freezing in Melbourne, as you can see.
Keep it up here, mate. Too bad.
Are you in a t-shirt?
I am, mate. I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, don't rub it in. Look at me, man. In the house with the heater on and still got a beanie on. It's crazy, man. Oh, anyway. So for listeners that want to use your services, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Facebook or Instagram. I'm on Google too. If you Google Sydney Rockwall Constructions, it should pop up. And yeah, all the details are there. Send us a DM. Phone number's there. Give us a call, and yeah, we'll get something sorted for you.
And Earthworks Hub.
And Earthworks, yes, yes. Thanks for reminding me.
That's it, man. That's it. All right. Now, thank you very much. Have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your week, man. Thanks for joining us.
No worries, Ivan. Thank you.
That was Andrew from Sydney Rockwall Constructions. Well, Sydney Rockwall, but up in Brisbane. I really appreciate him coming on at such short notice. Like I said, if anyone else is interested in being a guest, let me know. I think these are a big hit. So I can see a lot of people are obviously coming up on these lives. A lot of people are giving feedback during the week. So I'm going to continue doing these. Thank you very much to everyone for listening. Like I said earlier, go to www.earthworkshub.com.au after this episode and check it out. See what you think. Give me your feedback. If you've got a job or a position available, list it on there. If you're looking for work, list yourself on there. If you've got a business, put yourself on there. If you've got an event, put it on there as well. So that is going to be the hub for everyone. It's going to get massive. A lot more partners and sponsors coming on board. And become a member. Sign up. When you go to the website, just click on register, and you'll automatically become a member. And then you'll start getting all the updates on news, events, discounts, all that sort of stuff too. So let's see how big this thing can grow. Hopefully I can help everyone in our industry. And you can also buy merch. So if you want to show your support for Earthworks Hub, there's merch on there as well. Just go to the shop in the top right-hand corner of the site. All right, guys, I will love you and leave you. Have a very good week. Hopefully in Melbourne it warms up a little bit. Everywhere else, I hope it doesn't rain. Hope you enjoy your week. Thank you for joining me. Take care, guys. See you next time.